I didn't think we were going to go back to Saints Row, the reboot, but here we are. I just want to remind you that Embracer Group, the parent company of Volition, the developer of the new Saints Row, did lose money through their stocks because the game was universally panned. Nobody really liked it. Aside from a handful of critics, everybody blasted the game because it's a broken mess, and the characters are pretty much Twitter people brought to life. I thought the game was going to be somewhat of a disaster, but it turns out it wasn't. At least in the UK, the game topped the charts. So, it's actually number 1 from the week ending 27th August 2022. Now, the real question will be, does it make the list next week? Now, don't forget, Last of Us Part 2 topped charts as well and then quickly fell off of them. What I think this really is, are people buying their pre-orders. And some people just buying it because it's a new game and it's a Saints Row game. Don't forget, a lot of people don't actually follow a lot of this stuff. So a lot of people just went out and bought it. But you can't take it away from it. It did top the charts for the first week. The question I have is, will it top the charts next week? Will this continue? I don't think it will. I think it quickly falls off of this top 10 list. Let's take a look at what they're saying here. Despite a lukewarm critical reception, though we liked it, Saints Row has surged to the top of the UK's physical games chart for the number 1 debut. It dethrones Horizon Forbidden West, which has been in the top spot for several weeks running, despite Deep Silver's bonkers open world title sells just over half of its copies on PS5, with 55% of box sales attributed to Sony's current gen platform. And then Nintendo takes the rest of the chart. So, what's interesting is there's not really a lot of games out. This is like it. It released at the perfect time because there's no competition for it. Remember, it was originally going to launch against Elden Ring, and they moved it. And then apparently they did nothing to fix it during that time because the game is a broken mess. But they had a good week, surprisingly. So people picked up their pre-orders, basically. People picked up their pre-orders because these are boxed sales. These are physical copies because we have no way of really tracking digital sales, though I would imagine it probably did well digitally as well. This is crazy because I've seen pictures of copies sitting on shelves, not sold. Somebody tagged me in another one yesterday. In fact, I can show you. This is from the Modome over on Twitter. You can see right here for Xbox, bunch of copies. And then here's a bunch of copies for PlayStation, the best-selling format. So I see it just sitting on shelves everywhere. But apparently, it sold. I mean, I guess I can't dispute the numbers that the charts are bringing. Well, we won't see an American chart because they dropped that one. The only thing we have are UK sales charts. But they were usually pretty similar, so I would imagine that if we still had a U.S. chart, it would probably be close, if not number 1 on that one as well. Like I said, the real question I have is if this will hold up next week. So next week, I'd like to take another look at the charts and see if it actually stayed at number 1. Because the game did go gold, and I think people did buy their pre-orders, and you had that first week of sales, but that could change. But, you know, I guess I was wrong. It did sell. I wouldn't recommend buying it because the reviews haven't changed. We could take a look at them again. We have more now. User score, 3.1. That's out of 578 ratings. 63 Metascore from 57 critics. And, I mean, we can go down the list. PlayStation 4 sitting at 2.1 still from 71 users. Xbox One, 1.6 based on 48 ratings. Xbox Series X and S, 137 ratings, 3.2. 67 Metascore based on 35 critics. And I wouldn't call this review bombing from the user scores either, by the way, because it's not like there's a shitload of people over here rating it. There's only 137 on Xbox, 578 for PlayStation 5, 71 for PlayStation 4, and 48 with a lousy 1.6 for Xbox One. PC not doing much better, 2.6 out of 310 ratings, and then a 67 Metascore from 21 critics. So it's not doing that well. The game is apparently still somewhat broken, though they're putting hot fixes out. I remember from, I think it was maybe the Skill Up review. I'm not 100% sure, but one of the reviews estimated that it's probably going to take them a couple of months, maybe half a year, to completely fix this game. It's up to you. I wouldn't recommend it. I think there's other games you can play that are much better than this game. A lot of people are just hungry for new content, I guess. You even have Kotaku, which, by the way, gave it a low score, now saying it's is less a train wreck and more a messy, fun car crash. So you should go ahead and still buy it. Probably because they feel that these characters represent their personality or some bullshit. I mean, these are probably the kind of people that work at Kotaku, the people in this car. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, congratulations, I guess. We'll see how your sales are next week, Volition. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Why do you think it sold well? What are your thoughts? I'd like to hear from you. Do you guys think it's a fluke? Do you think it'll sell well next week? Give me your thoughts. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, make sure to follow me over on Twitch. I do watch parties, play video games over there. They're always fun. Follow me over there and come hang out. Also, make sure you subscribe to YellowFlash, my other channel. There's a link to that in the description as well. I do a lot of live streams over there that I don't do on this channel. Usually smaller and a little bit more personal. So make sure you follow me over there and sign up.